Greetings and welcome to Simple Scotch Reviews. Sorry for the different camera angle and video quality. This was kind of not a planned one, so normal recording devices not available. Here we've got Dewars 18-year-old. It is a blended Scotch whiskey bottled at 40% ABV. So quick note on Dewars. Obviously, it's a well-known name. But Dewars also has a good proportion of Aberfeldy in there. A good portion of the blend uses Aberfeldy. I'm a fan of Aberfeldy, so always excited to try new Dewars. So just to quick logic here, just to go off that note that this is Aberfeldy in there, quite a bit of Aberfeldy. Aberfeldy 21 is probably going to be my closest comparison to Dewars 18. The Dewars line seems to work like the Aberfeldy line, which makes sense. The younger the whiskey, there's more of the fruit notes, and the older it gets, there's a lot of honey notes, and the fruit disappears, more so with Aberfeldy than other whiskeys I've noticed. Aberfeldy, to me, the 21 is pure, rich honey flavor without much fruit at all. And the 12-year-old has a lot of nice fruit flavors that are lost in the 21. So that kind of holds with the Dewars line, although Dewars is different. Doesn't taste the same. It loses its fruit qualities and gains a honey quality the older it gets, which would make sense. But on to the whiskey. So right away on the nose, honey. I get some honey sweetness. I get a malt note, dusty malt note. Honey, I said again. Honey, that dusty note, and I also do pick up one more note, a kind of a toasted nut note, maybe almond. It is 40%. Alcohol is a little more noticeable than you'd expect in a 40%, but it's a really light nose. Also, it's a thin whiskey. And if you haven't watched my other reviews, don't think I'm one of those people that's saying it's thin because it's 40%. There are many 40% whiskeys I love. I'm not a ABV snob or anything about that. I just find this one to be particularly thin compared to other 40% whiskeys. Had to retaste because the flavor disappeared so quickly. So backwards here, the finish, very short. Initially on the palate, there's honey. There's a nutty, toasted nut, almondy note. Nothing really surprising you compared to the nose. Kind of straightforward, not a lot of notes. Tastes good, nothing off-putting whatsoever. I'll also add that back into the palate, going into the finish, a fruit note does show up, but I don't even know what fruit note because it's so faint compared to the other flavors in this whiskey. Overall, it's a light flavored whiskey. It's a light whiskey. It's thin as well. But those higher notes, not deep, rich flavors. Yeah, I can't put a pinpoint on what that fruit is because it's such a faint note. The honey and that slight nut note, toasty note. The malt, that malty note does show up, like I mentioned on the nose. And then it goes into the finish, which is very short. And when it goes into the finish, that fruit shows up and then the finish is over. It's a short finish, but overall, nice whiskey. Every whiskey's worth trying, but for me, if you're not able to buy all the Dewars to try, I'd skip Dewars 18. This 18-year-old I'd skip, and I'd go for the 15. I think that's where the value lies. 15's better than the 12. Honestly, a lot of people would probably prefer the flavor of the 15 to the 18, but even if you prefer the 18 flavor slightly, if you prefer the honey, the 15 does have more fruits. As I said, they disappear in the older versions. Even if you enjoy the 15 more than, or the 18 a little bit more than the 15, I think that you'll still like the 15 and the value is a lot better. It's not expensive for an 18-year-old whiskey at all, but the 15 is a good deal. So I'd recommend the 15 to anybody over the 18, but don't think you'll be disappointed with the 18 necessarily, but know what you're getting. You're getting a thin whiskey, not a lot of complexity. Honestly, it really tastes like a watered down version of Aberfeldy 21. I know it's 40% just like it, so it's not watered down, but it's blended down. So yeah, it tastes like Aberfeldy 21, just not as much flavor. That's just my opinion. It's good. It's less than half the price of the Aberfeldy 21, so you're getting good flavor in a cheaper whiskey. It's just thinner. So either way, I'd recommend the 15. Check out the channel, like, subscribe. Maybe a couple more videos here before I get back to the regular equipment. So bear with me on the video, but you're not here for the video quality. You're here for the info about the Scotch. So check out the channel, like, subscribe, check out the other videos, and more will be following. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.